Hi guys, this is the recipe for the cinnamon and orange beef stew on the keto diet. Obviously you don't have to be on the keto diet to try this. Okay, just some ingredients that we have that you will need. You're going to need a slow cooker or a crock pot. This is about ½ pound of diced beef. Have some beef broth. We have half a squeezed orange and also the orange zest mixed in together. We have 1 medium onion. Some spices you're going to need today. We have a teaspoon of cinnamon at the front here. It's a teaspoon of salt, ½ teaspoon of ground black pepper. It's 3/4 teaspoon of garlic paste. I prefer to use puree, just pre-bought. You can actually mince a couple of cloves of garlic if you want to. 1 bay leaf. Later on we will need some sage, some thyme, some rosemary, salt and pepper, and some soy sauce. You can actually use a little bit of fish sauce if you want to as well, but I just prefer not to. So here we have a very hot frying pan. It's now on the stove. You need to add 1 tablespoon of preferably coconut oil, as that's a lot healthier with the ketogenic diet. But you can use olive oil if you're not doing keto. If not, then virgin oil is fine, or rapeseed oil. Make sure this is nice and hot and that it is steaming or smoking. And then add your beef. Okay, our beef's nearly done. You do need to remember, yes, you can see some red on there. You do need to remember that this is a stew, so you don't want it fully cooked. You want it to be basically seared around the outside of the beef, just so it's basically got like an outer coat of cooking. The inside doesn't want to be raw, obviously, but kind of like a steak would be just above rare, in between medium rare and rare. Also remember, while this is cooking, a little bit of seasoning, salt and pepper, just to help the taste with the beef. This is about done now. So juices and all, it's just coconut, and the juice off the meat needs to go into your slow cooker. Okay, so return your pan. Doesn't matter if it's still got some juice in it from the meat. Return your pan to the heat and add your onion. Sorry about that. Okay, add your onion. Basically, this needs to be stirred enough so it becomes sort of translucent, sort of see-through. So not overly cooked, but not undercooked. You don't want it raw before it goes in. You want it to be just right, really. Once it gets translucent, we're going to mix some of the spices in. We're also going to add the orange juice and the lemon zest. To the bottom is to just get the sear off the bottom of the pan, get all the juices, get all the flavour out of the pan, mix it together with the spices. Okay guys, onion's done just nice. Don't worry about it looks like it's sort of burning underneath. This is what the orange juice is for. So we get orange juice, orange zest. As I said, it's about half an orange and the whole of the zest of the orange. Pour this out. It should just sit around. It should take all of the stuff off the bottom, adds to the flavour. Spot on. And then we'll add our spices. As I said, we have cinnamon, salt, pepper, garlic, and a bay leaf. Add that all to here and add it to the hot pot. Sorry, the slow cooker. The crock pot. You guys, over at our slow cooker, you need to put your slow cooker to high. You should have your beef pre-cooked, and you should have your onion and spices mix. Give it a good stir. Next aim for this is to put about a teaspoon of soy sauce in, and also we now need to put our beef broth in. And give this a very good stir. Apologies for the camera. This is quite a new recipe, or a new thing for me to do. It's not a new recipe, but it's a new thing for me to be trying to document recipes, so it can only get better. I do apologise if the screen, the camera keeps coming off of shot of what we need. That'll be something that I'll learn in the future maybe. Okay, so right, we've just give it a very nice stir. It doesn't look very appetising at the moment, but when it starts boiling it does turn very nice. So basically we want to leave this now for around 3 hours with the lid on. So stick the lid on, as I said, on high setting. Just leave it literally for 3 hours. You don't want to touch it at all. It's a slow cooker. It's a great thing if you want to put it on in the morning before you go to work. You can actually then put it on low, and you could leave it for 6 to 7 hours just to cook down. And okay, I'll see you in about 3 hours, and we'll go over what happens next. We should be adding our rosemary, thyme and sage, a little bit of salt and pepper, and then cooking it down even more. This recipe, if you cook it the way that I'm doing now, will take around 5 to 5.5 hours. Because we're on the ketogenic diet, me and my wife, we are just going to have the beef stew on its own. You can add vegetables, you can add cauliflower mash, lots of other things, but we'll go from there. Okay guys, it's been around 3 hours. It should have settled down. Oh, there you go. You can see it all settled down nicely. Give it a good stir. As you can see, it's looking rather nice. Okay, we need to add now, this is after 3 hours, we need to add, we have 1 teaspoon of thyme, half a teaspoon of sage and half a teaspoon of rosemary. And this can all go in and be mixed really well. Okay, as you can see, it still looks quite runny, but it's expected. It's been in the slow cooker, like I said, for 3 hours. Okay, so aim now, lid back on, keep it on a high setting, and we need to leave this for around an hour and a half on high now. So if you are doing this before you wake up, sort of, and go to work, so you're doing it before you go to work, I would suggest that you put it on for, as I said, between 5 and 7 hours on low, but this last bit needs to be on high for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. We'll be visiting this again in about an hour and a half, and then the lid needs to come off for the last half an hour to an hour just to thicken the sauce up. We'll show you the end product once it's done. Okay guys, beef orange and cinnamon stew is ready and done. This is basically it. Nicely done. And really looking forward to it. I'd suggest side serving of cauliflower mash, or you can have it with rice actually as well if you want, and something like asparagus or broccoli, and use the other half of your orange as a side. Just stick it on there. So you'd be surprised how nice that is, just to drizzle over the top. You can also put a little bit of Parmesan cheese over top once you've served it as well if you like. As I said, comment, let me know what you think, what it tastes like, anything that you'd like to change, and I might even change it myself and try it if it's nice. And leave me a comment and see what you think. Alright, cheers guys, bye.